All what is going through my mind at this moment is just thinking, am I gonna see my family again? Growing up in Syria it was really peaceful. It's a beautiful country. Everybody go and do their tasks, and that's it. Everybody is working on their time. We were on a dinner one day in 2011 when we heard the gunshots. Everybody was scared. It just was that moment where nobody really know what's going on. All what I can do as a kid, just ask my dad if everything's okay. And he told us that everything was good, everything's gonna be fine, until the next day where we saw all these people just leaving their houses behind, leaving everything behind and just running away. So for me as a kid, there wasn't actually a lot going through my head. All what I thought about is that we're just gonna leave for a couple days and come back. And these couple days actually turned out to be 11 years. So what happened after my dad decided that we should leave is we start running, trying to put everything we need in our bags just to escape for that night. My dad went out and tried to find someone that would take us out of where we live. There was nobody. It was a dead area. My dad, we decided to just stay in on the street for a couple of minutes until we saw a car coming by. So my dad held me and four of my cousins and throw us in the car, and he told me, it was like, take your cousins and go to this place. And we went to my dad's village where he grew up. All what is going through my mind at this moment, just thinking, am I gonna see my family again? Are these the only people that I'm gonna stick around with forever? And seeing my cousins tired, everybody's crying. We don't really know what's going on. We're still in that shock. Who's fighting together? So it's just that moment where it got me scared that even if that was my last moment to see my parents, at least I saw them good. So after we escaped to my dad's village, it actually was hard to live. I was the oldest and I was 11 years old, but at this moment I was like, I had it to be the 40 years old of me. To seek for food, to find a better life for these kids that I have in my hand. All what we had it in there, it was cheese and bread. I remember that moment where we used to put some of the cheese on the bread and kind of give every every one of my cousins just one pie of it, because the next day we had to have food so we can survive more. So after a couple of days, I got a phone call, and then it actually was from my dad, which is I felt really happy just to kind of hear his voice. A couple of days after, my dad decided to come and pick me up and drop my cousins at their family houses, and he picked me up, and then we went back to Damascus, which was my dad already decided to leave the country. Having to leave my cousins or my family, I'm still that 11 years old kid that always all what he's thinking about that, okay, we're gonna leave for a couple days and come back. We actually didn't stay in Damascus, but we moved out to my mom's village, which is called Dara, and it's on the border between Syria and Jordan. It was really bad experience, just so everybody's tired. We just want to find a place to sleep. My dad left to Jordan from the second night that we went to Dara. He was trying to find a life for us. It's really hard because he's on his own. My dad is handicapped. After a couple months, we left Syria and we went to Jordan. We stayed in the camp for a couple of months until we got the chance to go out and see my dad again. It was really hard. My new life in Jordan was like that refugee kid who's not allowed to work. If I work, they consider me as a bad person and they can take me to jail and I can get locked up, but I had it to work. I worked at a library, which is we open up at 7 in the morning until 12 at night, and I used to get paid $3 a day. School-wise, I'm not able to go to school too because especially like the refugees that was in Jordan, they pick at them a lot. Like people might stop you in the middle of the road and then just, give you a bad word or just like punch you for nothing. So it was scary to my family, especially when my dad used to get that from my teachers, where my teachers just like threaten me in like a snaky way where they play it, and it just didn't really feel safe. It's when my dad decided not to send me to school for 4 years. So after living in Jordan for a couple of years, my dad got a call from the Red Cross. They actually told my dad that we have the opportunity to move to the US, and that's like a dream for every person who's living down there. Just because they know that when they come over here, it's gonna be a better life, and that's for sure. So my dad's decision was yes. For me, it was really hard, just because like I'm still in that shock where I'm moving far from the family, like knowing that I'm not gonna be able to see my grandma no more. So we actually had to wait for a full year and a couple months for our papers to go through the government. It was really hard, because I didn't have no passports, nothing, and the American Red Cross had to make us like a temporary passports to get us over here. It was the hardest time of my life, just knowing that I might just stay in Jordan for the rest of my life if my papers just didn't go through. And that actually happened to a lot of people, where they waited for their papers and then waiting years, and then after that they just got canceled. But lucky enough, they were able to call us and tell us that you guys are leaving on that day. After our papers got approved, it was the process of selling everything we had, because you're not able to bring nothing with you from there except the cash that you has in your hand. And for my family, just selling everything, it was like entering the US with $600, and that's it. Thinking about going back to my country, it's a hard decision now, but I always believe in myself, and I always have that dream to go back there and just to see my family again. After like 11 hard years of being far away, not being able to see them, obviously I miss them. I miss seeing their faces. I don't know how they look like. They did change a lot. As I said, even I had that dream, and if I could complete it, it's to go back there and just like see my family again. I want people to know from my story that if you're living that day and you're happy in it, other people are not. What I've been through, it's actually true, and it's going till this day, until this moment. Consider to the refugees who's in Jordan right now or in Syria, I'm always thankful that I'm happy in my life right now. Everybody deserves a life, and everybody deserves to be happy.